Let's all grow together.
What's up, YouTube? So over here I have a few different computers running off a few different networks. Over here I have my PS4. I'm setting up for a live broadcast right now, and we're going to talk about how to increase your gaming performance online. So I'm going to switch my camera around. Okay, now here it is. It's right there in front of my face. I'm sorry. Game mode. So there's a game mode on most every TV, the newer TVs anyway. The older TVs, there's a RBG setting, or RB, what is it, red, blue, green, RBG, yeah. And you want to have that all the way set to the maximum, so you're getting your best quality resolution to be able to see what's going on in the game, as well as your highest frames per second, which your frames per second is not going to be affected by the red, green, and blue settings, but it is going to enhance the quality of the picture to where you're going to be able to see different things when you're playing online. So like Call of Duty Black Ops, for example, you're going to definitely want to have that game mode on, or your red, green, and blue settings set up to its best possible settings. Because let me try. If you don't have the gaming mode set on, it's going to have it's going to want to put out a more smooth pictures for like videos or whatever it is that you're putting up there. It's usually a video, right? Or like, you know, to TV, whatever broadcast there, you know, like a TV channel, it gets broadcasted wirelessly. So when it does that, you know, there could be static or interference, and so it just kind of downloads it all, it makes it clear, and then it pushes it through. Whereas when you're gaming, if there's a little bit of, you know, wind that comes through, like, you need to make sure that whatever is being displayed at that moment, you want to see it, even if it's a little fuzzy. And that's what kind of game mode does. It's going to give you the highest frames per second for your TV, and utilize every bit of energy that it can, because it's going to be running at its maximum performance. But it's also going to give you, you know, if you have a gust of wind come through, it's not going to actually sit there and wait for a second and have that lag that you would have via your wireless or your wired connection. And I'd highly recommend using wired connection. Because of, you know, some type of storm or whatever is going on, and so it's very important. Like, if you guys are really like a big gamer, like let's say on Call of Duty and stuff like that, that's, you know, you want to be able to make sure that you're able to aim fast and quick, like, and you're be able to see what the other players are doing, so you can just shoot them. I know that I was having some issues, and so I put a lot of time in researching it. And there's other things you can do, is like lowering the frequency of your ping, which. So whenever you have a ping rate, or I'm sorry, it's your frequency will be like measured in milliseconds, and there's a thing on your computer which you can do this, which will not pertain to your PlayStation. This is what I'm actually researching at the moment, because I know how to do this with my computer. I would just run traceroute, and it will show me the pings, which is a hop from each router to router. So that's what I need to find out how to do on my PlayStation, which I'm going to release that video next. But basically, what my goal is to show people how to lower those pings, like from each router to the next. So a lot of people say, you know, switch it up to Google DNS settings. Well, yeah, that's always a good idea, because in most cases, there's a Google server closer to you from your ISP, because the way your internet connection runs, it's going to actually connect to your ISP, and then you're going to go to your domain name server, which public DNS from Google will be, you know, there's just more of a populated, there's more of them, right? And so because there's more of them, you know, there's a bigger probability that it's going to be a better connection, it's going to be a faster connection, because it's going to be closer to your ISP in the destination to the server you're trying to connect to. Like, let's say we're connecting to Black Ops, we want to go the minimum hops straight to Black Ops server, and then back to you, because obviously we're going to get faster speeds. So, like, you know, the PS4, everybody wants to know how do I get faster megabytes up and you know, and download speeds. Your upload speeds is what's going to matter the most on your performance online, because once you hit the let's say R2, you shot the gun. Well, your upload speed has to go all the way, you know, from your ISP back to, you know, your domain name server to tell it and route it through separate routers all the way to Black Ops servers, just to tell that guy to shoot. So once that happens, you know, if you're running at like 2 megabytes per second, it's not going to run as fast, because your upload speeds are they have an issue somewhere along the way. Maybe it's locally on your game, and you have cache poisoning in your browser, or whatever it may be. But the maximum that I've seen with the PlayStations is 6 megabytes per second. I've seen people put up fake videos at 20 megabytes per second. No, don't believe it. It's not true. You can't get it faster than 6 megabytes per second. And they do that because it keeps the game competitive. If everybody can have 20 or 30 or 40 or whatever, the best, they could do with their hardware, they could, mod it like they do on PC. Well, then it's not more of, who's the better player. It's more of who's the better, builder of their PC and configure of the better network configurator, network engineer, I guess it would be the actual job title. And so this just allows you guys to actually play without having to worry about this guy being better than me because he knows how to set up his network and I don't, and which is still the case a lot of times because you guys don't set it up properly. And so there's things like solid state drives that are going to help increase your gameplay locally, and it's going to do it online. Slightly because you still have to run a visual of that platform that you're on, right? So you're actually using two different views. So you're going to see the gameplay that is being altered online by other players, but the map is already downloading right into your system locally. But if your HDD, your hard disk drive that comes normally with a PlayStation 4, you're going to not see those as fast whenever, say you're updating in the background, whatever's going on in the background, which is a lot of capabilities if you have a PS Plus account, which you will have if you're online, right? It's going to slow that down, and so you might start lagging just because locally, which when I say locally, that means not online. Locally, in your system, your PlayStation, your performance is not at its maximum capabilities because you have a hard disk drive which is running at the maximum read and write speeds of any data that's on your PlayStation. So it's downloaded a map, right? And now that's data on your PlayStation locally. So it can't read that any faster than 3 gigabytes per second, which sounds pretty fast, and it is really fast. But if it gets to a point where it's reading and writing a lot of other things in the background, well, now it's going to lag out. It's going to sketch out. So improving that would be putting a solid state drive in there and upgrading it to 6 gigabytes per second read and write speeds. So that's a big plus. So I put a video on how to clone your hard drive over. If you want to check that out, I'll throw a link in the description. If I forget, just let me know because I got so many videos. I got to throw descriptions and links into, and so they all have just a general description. But definitely this one little tip, it's going to change what you do on Facebook. The PlayStation Network. It's going to change it a lot for sure. And getting a higher refresh rate with TV, like a gaming monitor, is going to give you better performance because one's going to show you those frames per second that you're actually receiving from your PlayStation faster. So all this sounds pretty confusing. That's why I've broken it down into smaller videos. At the beginning of this video, it didn't look very hard what I did. I just changed it to gaming mode, and that's what I've done with all of them. And so I put a lot of thought and research into how to make this better. And now for the streamers out there, I've actually ordered all the different utensils that the professional streamers would use, and I'm going to get into those, and I'm going to figure out how to maximize and get the best performance possible, because I've been streaming while I'm playing, and I realized if I'm not playing, well then if I'm not streaming while I'm playing, I'm just smashing everybody. I'm doing great, As soon as I start streaming, I'm getting killed. I'm like, dang, what's going on? That's when I started looking into it, and then I realized, obviously, I'm using half of my upload speeds, which is a maximum capability of 6 gigabytes or megabytes per second with PlayStation. Unless you guys have seen somebody with higher, which I haven't, and I would concur if you did bring it up. So let's bring it up and throw it in the comments below, and we can argue about it or whatever. There's a better word for it. But anyways, the point being is that I lost where I was at. I get so into thought and deep into thought with all this. When you're streaming, you're uploading and half your speed's gone, right? And so being that's the case, I'm just getting smashed as soon as I started streaming. So it's dang, man, I'm doing good, but I'm never doing good whenever I'm streaming. This really sucks. So there's an alternative method to streaming which is called a capture card. And so basically what the capture card is going to do is it's going to capture the video, and you can store it and you can present it later, or you can connect to your, like let's say to your TV, like my TV in front of me. I'll connect to it and connect to HDMI either straight to the capture card, or I can connect straight to the monitor. If I do it straight to the capture card, I can actually broadcast that live using the upload speeds of my computer, which the maximum capabilities of that is the maximum capabilities of my network, my ISP, which is like 20 megabytes per second, which is super fast compared to what, it's almost a little over 3 times what PlayStation is capable of, any PS4, the PS4 Pro, whatever. And so when you get higher and you get a PS4 Pro, it's just giving you a faster operating system that's a little bit more secure. Like it is a good thing to have, but like when you're thinking about streaming, you need to realize there's a lot more that goes into actually maximizing your 6 megabytes per second up that you can possibly get. Because just because you're getting it and it shows 6 megabytes per second up and you're getting like high 5s or 6s all the time because you're connected straight to your modem, doesn't mean you're having the fastest connection. So you need to really look into that ping rate, and so that's what my goal is. And if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the description, or leave them below, whatever. Thank y'all for watching my video. Please like and subscribe.